Mombasa just recorded its best year in history, 45 million tons of cargo, ladies and gentlemen, record container traffic, record revenue, and yet Kenya is spending billions to ensure that Mombasa never sees another record again. So here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Mombasa port handled 45.45 million metric tons of cargo in 2025. That's up nearly 11% from the year before. Container traffic hit an all-time record, 2.1 million TEUs. By every single metric, Mombasa is winning. Now here's where it gets really interesting. While Mombasa was breaking records, Kenya was quietly pouring billions into a port that by design would take away business from Mombasa, the Lamu port, part of LAPSSET corridor, a 25 billion mega project that stretches from the Indian Ocean all the way to South Sudan and Ethiopia. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's working. Cargo throughput at Lamu jumped from 74,000 metric tons in 2024 to nearly 800,000 tons in 2025. That's not growth, that's a tenfold explosion in 12 months. Let that sink in. Now, cargo containers are one thing, but the real weapon, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that changes the entire calculus, is oil. Kenya discovered commercially viable crude in Lokicha Basin, Turkana, over a decade ago. And the question was always, how do we get this oil to market? Mombasa already has an oil terminal. You could route the pipeline there. It will be cheaper. The infrastructure exists. The logistics are proven. But Kenya didn't do that. Instead, they are building an 825-kilometer pipeline, the Lamu Lokicha crude oil pipeline, costing $1.5 billion, designed to pump up to 80,000 barrels per day directly to Lamu. Mombasa, ladies and gentlemen, was never in the plan. Now, I know what you people are thinking. Why would any country deliberately weaken its own biggest port? Here's where it gets really juicy. In March 2026, a car carrier called the Grand Florida, carrying 3,800 vehicles from Japan, originally bound for Saudi Arabia, was forced to reroute. The Middle East conflict has made the Strait of Hormuz functionally unsafe. Navigation systems were being jammed. Insurance premiums had doubled. And where did the Grand Florida dock, ladies and gentlemen? Lamu. 1 week earlier, another vessel, the Grand Auckland, made its first call at Lamu with 469 European vehicles. Same reason. This is what Kenya saw coming. Lamu has a natural deep water advantage, 17.5 to 18 meters, versus Mombasa's shallower berths. That means Lamu can handle the post-Panamax vessels, the mega ships that can't even enter Mombasa, and in a world where the Gulf is unstable, where the Suez route is fragile, a secure deep-water port on the Indian Ocean becomes a strategic asset. Not just for Kenya, but for Ethiopia, South Sudan, and the entire region. Kenya isn't just building a port, it's building an insurance policy. But insurance policies, ladies and gentlemen, have premiums, and Mombasa is the one paying. The Kenyan Ports Authority has given Lamu 60 days of free storage for transshipment cargo, a 40% reduction in handling charges. These are incentives designed to pull shipping lines away from Mombasa. And to this, Aliko Dangote has announced a $17 billion refinery for Lamu, Ethiopia, the most populous landlocked country on earth, with 95% of its trade currently through Djibouti, is now linking its security architecture to the LAPSSET corridor. In March 2026, Ethiopia and Kenya agreed to joint military operations to protect the Moyal-Marsabit-Turkana route. The corridor is no longer just an economic project, it is now a militarized strategic corridor, guarded, insured, and prioritized. And Mombasa, ladies and gentlemen, is watching from the sidelines. Mombasa is not dying tomorrow. 45 million tons versus 800,000. The numbers will favor Mombasa overwhelmingly. But ladies and gentlemen, the question is no longer about today. The question is about the trajectory. The old order is not just being challenged, it's being replaced. Birth by birth, pipeline by pipeline, incentive by incentive. Kenya has made a strategic choice, and Mombasa, for all of its history, for all its records, for all its contribution to this nation, is the sacrifice. What do you think about this, ladies and gentlemen? Is Kenya making the right call? Or are they abandoning their greatest economic asset for a gamble that may or may not pay off? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Representing A2 Geopolitics is Flo. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.